This historic ceasefire didn't stop all of the violence in Afghanistan, but it really was important because it was an agreement between the Afghan government and the Taliban. But we saw the Taliban go into cities like Jalalabad, lay down their weapons, and celebrate the Muslim holiday of Eid. And the problem, though, with the ceasefire, though, is it didn't include ISIS, who launched a series of attacks on Taliban fighters. Now, ISIS views both the Afghan government and the Taliban as enemies. And ISIS used this ceasefire to attack the Taliban in two different situations. Yesterday, they killed 36 people, all Taliban fighters or people connected to the Taliban. And today, they launched another attack, killing 19 people in Jalalabad. So this ceasefire was really important for the Afghan government and the Taliban for proving that there is a possibility of a ceasefire, but it excluded the ISIS militants, which really have grown in presence and capability of launching attacks, Eric. And what we saw was that they used this opportunity to attack the Taliban in Afghanistan.
Wow. Well, with ISIS out for blood against the Taliban, I mean, what's the potential of the ceasefire actually, being extended or actually potentially being held at some point?
So there's a lot of hope in Afghanistan that this will pave the way for a larger agreement between the Taliban and the Afghan government. Afghan President Ashraf Ghani said that he would like to extend this ceasefire for several more days at the end of the holidays, which end tonight, Sunday. But the Taliban released a statement saying today that, no, they're going to actually return to the battlefield on Monday. Still, it is being hailed as a really important achievement for talks between the Taliban and the Afghan government. And there's a lot of hope in Afghanistan that the Taliban will come to see ISIS as their real enemy and that they will view the Afghan government as a possible partner in the fight against ISIS and against other militant groups. That's probably a stretch too far right now, Eric, but the fact that the Afghan government and the Taliban were able to agree to some type of ceasefire, while it wasn't perfect, it did hold for about 3 days, and that the ISIS militants used this to attack the Taliban fighters there. There is a lot of hope that this may lead to some type of understanding between the Afghan government and the Taliban, that there are much more in common in terms of where they see Afghanistan going, and that they will work together to battle ISIS. That is still a real far step away from where we are today. But there is a lot of hope right now, Eric, that this is a stepping stone.